The commemoration was titled the 50th, honoring the memory of President John Kennedy, taking place in Daley Plaza, where an unfortunate event took place on November 22, 1963. The commemoration had a feeling of two worlds. One, honoring a president who was immensely popular at home and abroad. At times he seemed to be everywhere at once, encouraging better physical fitness, improving the morale of government workers, bringing brilliant advisors to the White House, and beautifying Washington, D.C. And two, forgiveness or pardon on Dallas's behalf for being the city in which a tragedy in American history took place. Before that fateful day, Daley Plaza was once referred to as the front door of Dallas. After the assassination, Dallas was called the City of Hate. Those nicknames have been lost through transition, but today, Dallas has many nicknames, none of which refer to the assassination of our 35th president. Dallas Mayor Mike Rawlings said, "The nightmarish reality of November 22, 1963, propelled the city from shock and grief to determination and progress." He went on to say, "A new era dawned and another waned a half-century ago when hope and hatred collided right here in Dallas." He also said, "It seems that we all grew up that day, city and citizens. These 5 decades have seen us turn civic heartache into hard work." Jacqueline Foy of the Dallas Morning News said it unequivocally, "Dallas will never forget the shame and grief of what happened here, but we can take justifiable pride in the city we are today." Here is a short history lesson about November 22, 1963. To give President Kennedy maximum exposure to Dallas crowds, his advanced Secret Service agent planned the motorcade route that went from Dallas Love Field Airport to the Dallas Trade Mart. His security advisor pinpointed Daley Plaza along this route. With all the conspiracy involving parties as varied as the CIA, the Mafia, military-industrial complex, Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson, Cuban President Fidel Castro, FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover, the Soviet Union Security Agency KGB, the Warren Commission concluded the following year that there was no conspiracy and that Lee Harvey Oswald was solely responsible for the assassination of President Kennedy. The Warren Commission, that was established by sworn-in President Lyndon B. Johnson a mere 6 days after the assassination of John F. Kennedy, released an 889-page report in September of 1964. In this report, the government said that Lee Harvey Oswald used the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository as his assassination point because Oswald was an employee of the depository and he knew the layout. A rifle owned by Oswald was found in the Texas School Book Depository on the 6th floor, located by a back window in 1963. Today, 50 years later, all that remains is a buzz of conspiracies, a museum dedicated to November 22, 1963, and a memorial and an X that marks the historical spot. Despite all the conspiracies and theories on the events of that day, one thing remains. John Kennedy was a profound president, and in the words of Dallas Mayor Mike Rawlings, he was an idealist without illusions who helped build a more just and equal world. I want to leave you with a famous excerpt from President Kennedy's inaugural address, and probably one of the most reflective speeches ever given.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.